Hi there, everybody. I'm back, as you can see, and always with something new. Always with something new. This is a survey made by the Gallup people. They have various avatars, these people. They show up everywhere. This was a worldwide survey made with a pretty big sample, actually. And I wanted to give you some ideas of what they found, and particularly with regard to belief and non-belief. And for example, take Ireland. Now, Ireland's gone through, the scandals of the church have just simply been monumental, just to say the least. Not alone the pedophile priests, but then also these Magdalens. These are where they capture these young girls and put them into virtual slavery to serve priests and nuns and that sort of thing. Just within a 5-year period between 2007 and the latest survey, religiosity, that is to say, people who said that they believed in God, were actively involved in church, and lived a religious life, was something like 69% of Ireland's population. That has dropped 22% down to 47% in 5 years. The news has gotten to these people. They realize they've been had. And atheism is on the rise in Ireland. Something like 10% of the population affirms absolutely that they're atheist, which is an interesting figure. I think it's probably higher because people just aren't quite yet willing to be that out about it. More of that later. Another place where religiosity has collapsed is in Vietnam. It has gone down to almost 30% of the population now say they're religious. A drop of 23% from previous highs. It's incredible. Now, something like that's happening worldwide. On a worldwide basis, there are 13% of the population claims to be atheist. Now, I think what we have here is something slightly different, however, because we've got an awful lot of Buddhists involved, and they are by nature atheists. It's a given of their, I should say, their philosophy rather than their religion. So that may account for this rather large figure. In the United States, only 60% of the population said that they are religious in the sense that they go to church and that they believe in God and participate in a religious life, which is a drop from previous highs. But what's interesting to me is that the Gallup poll, which took in 2007, said that 1% of the population were atheist. Now, in the 2012 survey, 5% say they're atheists. This is an enormous gain. But there's more to it than just that, my friends, because in the United States, you do not go around saying you're an atheist. You just don't. You have your employment to consider. You have your friends. You have so many things that can hurt you by coming out and saying you're an atheist. So you're a little guarded in this respect. So, but we see this going from 1% to 5%. I would guess probably it's more like going from 10 to 20%, because America, too, has had the experience with the scandals of the Catholic Church, not to mention also the televangelists and people like Ted Haggart and the people like Jim Baker and these people who put tons of money in their pocket with all their phony spiritualism and all that business. The country's getting, through the long haul, this country has become wealthier, and as a result, and superior education and so forth. This has had an effect on belief, and of course, as I say, the scandals. But what surprised me most really was the popularity of Richard Dawkins, professor of science education at Oxford University. His books on evolution and his books about the God delusion. But the one that really hit the home run was Christopher Hitchens' God is Not Great. It was a huge success. My friends, if that book had come out 50 years ago, you'd have had a press run of 50, maybe 5,000 of them, and most of them would have wound up on the remainder table. Nobody would buy it. You just wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. This was a huge, huge success. Now, I want to change the subject just slightly. I think America is slowly but surely getting rid of some of this religious garbage. A part of the problem, I think, is this sort of super patriotism, which is combined with religion, you know, this kind of thing, waving flags, you know, and see the USA in your Chevrolet. America is asking you to call. America is the greatest land of all. Something of that sort, you know, God and country. And I think that's not quite as popular as it used to be, thank God. And this gives me a chance to introduce something of along this line. The United States is in a deep depression right now. It's not a recession, it's a deep recession. It's going to stay there for a long time too, my friends. It's happened in Asia. We dragged them down with us, as did in Western Europe. Just plain greed and no control over the economy. But not every place did you find this. There was Scandinavia. They escaped the bullet. They did not go into a deep depression. They have a slight recession. Naturally, all the trading partners are going down, so they have to suffer a little bit, but nothing compared to the rest. What else is interesting about them? Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. Well, they have higher income, per capita income than any place in the West. So much higher, it's just simply ridiculous. They speak not only their native tongue, but they usually speak English. And my friends, better probably than you do. Better syntax, better grammar, attention to style, and the rest of it. Probably better. And some of them are trilingual. In addition, they'll speak French or German. What else is true of them? Their health is better. They pay enormous income tax, as much as 50% of their income of a person earning, say you earn $2 million in Sweden. Count on it, they're going to take 50% of it. But look what society gets instead. Better health, lower infant mortality. Every count of what we would say of the good life abounds in Scandinavia. And something else. Sweden is 85% atheist. Denmark is 80% atheist. Norway, 72% atheist. And finally, Finland, a little slow in getting there, folks, but they're only 60%. I think there's a relationship here. I honestly do. I think there is something to be said about this connection. They are not waving flags. They are not going through this greatest land of all. So these are people that are thinking about society and how to make it better. So let me conclude this chapter for YouTube just by saying that there was a famous, I'll put it as an agnostic, his name was Robert Ingersoll, and he said, and I think this will kind of cap the whole thing, and particularly as regards Scandinavia, better hands that help than lips that pray. That's it. I'll see you in another time.